Maine school board member says children's gender identities should be kept secret from parents, even if there are safety concerns. So this is fucking disgusting. The guy looks like someone who would keep secrets from parents about kids. It's crazy how they always look like that, right? Like they just have a look. This is something that really, really bothers me. I understand the leftist argument here, which is that there are kids who are actually gay or trans and, or think that they're trans, and it can put these kids in a precarious situation if they live in a home where, it maybe isn't safe for them and their parents are abusive. Like, I understand that. However, I don't think that trumps parents' rights. I just don't. I think that if you are one of these like super duper pro LGBT teachers who is willing to keep secrets from parents in the interest of like kids interacting with LGBT ideology, like there's something fucking wrong with you. And there's something wrong with you that you think that your role as a teacher trumps the parent's right to know what's going on with their kids. If my kid was going to school and then switching into girls' clothing or whatever the case may be, and that teacher felt like they had more of a right to that information than I did as a parent, it's going down when I find out. Like, this is one of those things that when it comes to parents that are speaking out about LGBT ideology in schools, this is what they mean. They have this fear that their kid is going to be being taught things that they don't agree with. And it is still okay to disagree with LGBT ideology. It's okay. There comes a certain point where even I'll disagree with you if you're one of those people. If you think gay marriage shouldn't be legal, I'll disagree with you, but I still think you should have the right to think that. You may not get the trans thing. Cool. I don't get the trans thing when it comes to the kids. I don't get the trans thing when it comes to half the shit I see. But if you disagree with my right to be trans as an adult, we're going to go to war over that. But there's no, you can't compromise on shit like this. Teachers, you do not have a right to information about kids that the parents don't have a right to. It's just not okay. Especially, like, I'll say it, I don't really care. There are teachers who push this shit on kids now. I don't care. It's plain to see. So you have a situation where you can have a teacher pushing it on a kid. And I really don't want to hear anyone saying that doesn't happen. All you have to do is look at every day there's a new viral video of some teacher with rainbow glasses and rainbow hair, overweight, looking nasty as fuck, talking about how they came out to these kids and the kids are coming out to them. It's being pushed on the kids. I don't care what anyone is saying. If you have two brain cells to rub together, you can see it's happening. Does that mean it's pushed on them in every scenario? No. Does that mean every 12-year-old that comes out as gay is because someone's pushing on them? Of course not. Gay people know they're gay usually by the time they're 12. That's just a fact. But when you have these kids coming out as fucking queer and non-binary and trans and all this shit that they can't possibly understand as a child, it's getting pushed on them. I don't care. So when you have teachers who feel like they can keep that from the parents, what it basically is a situation where they're pushing it on the kid and still don't want to tell the parent. Fuck you. Fuck you. These activist teachers have got to go. And these schools have to start waking up to the fact that they are hiring literal freak shows to teach kids. And it's not okay. Anyway, speaking of freak show, I figured we would introduce reacting to some woke TikToks into this show, right? Because that's what everyone wants from me at the end of the day. Those are my most popular videos. So let's just fucking get into it. So one thing that's a trend now with pronouns is it in itself. Let's just watch this.
So for me, gender is complicated because I would rather not be associated with it to the point where I would rather not be a human or even an animal. I would like to be an inanimate object. So I use its pronouns, but nobody uses them for me. I just have them in my bio. Nobody's comfortable with them. But I would like people to use them because that further removes me from the gender binary to the point where I am just an object. Just a piece of grass, if you will. So I would just like to not be a human being, let alone have a gender.
Too bad. I will never, ever call anyone it. itself. Like, I'm never referring to a human being as an object. And I see this pop up more and more in the community. Can we just fucking stop? Like, here's the thing. So I'm known as like a trans woman who's like rarely offended by a lot of shit. Because I think a lot of the shit that trans people get offended by is just BS. It's like, what are you offended that no one wants to see your penis in a changing room? Like, get over it. However, one of the things that will always bug me and that I will absolutely take as transphobia is if someone refers to me as it. Now, I don't care about social media. People say crazy shit on social media. But if there was ever a scenario in real life where someone called me it, you are genuinely a transphobe. You're reducing me to an object, to an inanimate object. I'm a human fucking being. I would rather you call me he than it. And it's the only time that I would get offended. And actually, I recently fucking heard that, you know what? I was going to spill some tea. I'm not going to spill it today. Maybe next time. About someone you all know. So I think this is disgusting. And something's wrong with this person that they even want to refer to as it. We really have a mental health crisis in this country. I don't even just mean about like the trans shit. I mean about someone feeling so low that they can be like, I'm an object. It's very sad. And I hope for a healing for this person because that's not fucking cool. This podcast is sponsored by Rocket Money. So we all know how hard it is to cancel subscriptions. It's one of those things that just drives me absolutely insane. I have so many things that are attached to my debit card that I don't have the time or the like effort to spend on fixing it. That's why I love Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill. Do you know how much all your dormant subscriptions are actually costing you a month? Most Americans guess around $80. Wrong. It is actually more like over $200 a month, which is absolutely insane. It's just money out the window. This is why Rocket Money is going to be your absolute best friend. The app shows all your subscriptions in one place, and then you can cancel whatever you don't want. Rocket Money can also find subscriptions that you didn't even know you had set up. You may even find out that you've been double charged for your subscription, so it's very valuable information. Get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/Blaire. Seriously, it could save you hundreds per year. That's rocketmoney.com/Blaire. Cancel your unnecessary subscriptions right now at rocketmoney.com/Blaire. That's rocketmoney.com/BLAIRE. All right. Oh, God, this one's disgusting. So one of periods related, I will never understand the trans people, the trans women who are obsessed with the fucking concept of having a period, who are so like either delusional or intentionally lying. It's one of the two. They either really think it or they're lying that they can get their period. So this TikTok is making the rounds. Let's check it out.
Here's the thing. We understand what the patriarchy is, right? They created the patriarchy, to put men in boxes and to put women in boxes. But the patriarchy is inherently misogynistic because women get treated like shit historically, right? And it's inherently transphobic. So the reason why period is so synonymous with bleeding is because they wanted to exclude trans people and non-binary people.
Stupid.
Cis women are not the only ones that experience periods. At the end of the day, whether it's hormones, whether it's your body producing hormones, whether you are a cis woman and have to take hormones, that hormonal period is valid. Not everybody bleeds. And I don't understand why wouldn't you want to be inclusive? Why are you trying to gatekeep? And it's because most cis women feel like their reproduction is the only thing they can offer. They're a female. That's all they have. And that's kind of sad that you boil yourself down to your fucking body parts. Hello? We get our hormonal cycle once a month. If we want to call it a fucking period, we're going to do that. You're just a pick-me, trying to collect your bag, act a fool, but it's going to be expanded just like a lot of things in a society. And if you don't like it, you can go over there with the Republicans and your little cishet people. Hello?
I literally feel like when I watch it like this, like I'm just on a different planet. Like I must be on a different fucking planet that by all rights on paper, like I'm trans and I should look at this trans person going off about trans shit and be like, yes, get it. And instead, like I have a fight or flight response and I'm leaning towards fight. So this person's a fucking idiot. And the obsession with trying to claim a period when you cannot get one is one of the most disturbing things to come out of like modern trans ideology. And it wasn't there even when I started transitioning 7 years ago. Like the idea that you would claim that even 7 years ago when I started is like, are you okay? Like, this person should not be given hormones if they're delusional enough to think that they are so woman out that they can have a fucking period. It's not real. In fact, the girls used to make fun of it. And when I say the girls, I mean like old school, 7-8 years ago, trans women who like transitioned to like blend into society. It's like there used to be a thing, and we used to be in Facebook groups, and we all used to be connected, and we used to know each other and talk and be friends, whatever. This is some inside baseball. And like, it used to be a thing where like all the girls would laugh at the trans people on social media who would be like, took my first estrogen pill, my feet are shrinking. Like, have that delusional attitude towards transitioning. Like, there would be posts in these Facebook groups like, oh my God, this bitch is delusional. And it'd be like some trans person posting like, my feet are shrinking by several centimeters. Oh my God, hormones are really taking effect. Or, oh my God, my voice got so much higher when it doesn't affect your voice. It's like, and now it's just like, these people are allowed to run a fucking muck, say they can get periods. Like, if you're bleeding, sweet child, and you don't have a vajayjay, like, go to the hospital. Something's fucking wrong. It's an emergency. You gotta go. And of course, we all know that trans men, if they're not on hormones, I guess, can get periods. And that's fine. And when you break it down and you're literal like that, I don't think anyone has an issue with that. Everyone kind of understands that. Yes, people who are called trans men in society also get their period. Why? Because they're fucking female, and periods are a female experience. Like, hate to be vulgar, but the same way that I like tuck my dick and balls into my body is because I'm fucking male. And yet, everyone's supposed to like think that's such a horrible thing. I don't understand. I'm glad I don't get a period. Like, why would I want a period? And this just goes into also like the thing I struggle with, and I say this all the time, I'm sorry for being a broken record. The thing I struggle with so much is understanding why it's a bad thing for me to know, A, and acknowledge, B, being biologically male. It's not as if that's something that I need to do in real life, because these are all internet conversations, right? And there's like no, I'm not gonna say no, but there are very few circumstances in which real life I have to like say that or talk about it. But here it's like, why is being biologically male a bad thing? Why is it a bad thing I can't get a period? That to me, when I think of like the pros and cons of like being a trans woman, for which there is a pros and cons list, one of the pros is I can't get a fucking period. And yet I'm supposed to feel shame about that. I'm supposed to be upset about it according to these fucking people, these freaks. I don't understand, and I'm not gonna understand. If you enjoyed that clip, make sure you watch the full episode somewhere on the screen and subscribe to this channel.